And the field is painted, ready to go here on Salty Shores night between these two Foundation League teams. The Wizard facing off against the Spectre in the opening week of Minor League Esports presented by APM Music. My name is Sleegy, and join with me in the commentary booth for the latter half of this night is none other than Thunderballs and Thunder. These two teams prepping really hard for this game, and I think we're going to see a really highly intense, competitive match between these two coming up.
I mean, don't we always? It's MLE. Come on, it's always competitive. It's always great matches coming up, especially on stream. You see the players really feel the stakes, and a lot of these players, we're week one of the new season. They're new to this format and new to being on a broadcast, but we've seen a lot of players so far this weekend settle into that and really step up, so I think we're going to continue to see that here with Foundation League.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a really good game in front of us. I'm excited to see how it turns out, and we're going to go ahead and get them on the field so we can get started with game number one. Again, it's going to be the Wizards and the Spectre, and, you know, with it being week one, there's room for mistakes, but I think it's really best for both of these teams to focus on getting their season started out on the right foot. They need to make sure that they are good to go as far as getting everything set and ready for the rest of their season.
I think so too. Obviously, hopefully, they've been doing some scrimming, finding out what pairs might have chemistry and things like that, but that's scrims, and this is a whole other level of pressure that they need to now face, and this is really going to test the mettle of the new players that are being welcomed into MLE and into different franchises.
Well, let's see how things get started here. So it'll be a good 50-50 there from John Cena Lover. Off the back wall, IDJ not quite able to get it through. Dante with possession. Be John Cena again. Looking to get this pickup off the back wall. Good clear from Sauce. DJ not quite able to get it around. It'll be off the ceiling, back down. 50 keeping it in the Spectre half for now as Dante again knocking it down. It'll be a clear to the left side. Sauce to pick it up. Back
a nice
wall.
little passage of play. It's, I gotta say, the amount of control we're seeing, even early game, not the amount of nerves that I would normally expect to see in an FL game and in an FL streamed game. Really impressed with how they've been able to keep things composed so far, and we're waiting for the teams to make the first big mistake and leave an opening.
Yeah, well, there could be an opening here. John Cena Lover not quite able to get there in time. So off the side wall it goes. It'll be Dante Burns looking to get this applied pressure over IDJ. Dante again. Oh, it's right out in front. Sauce, shot opportunity, and he'll slide it in the bottom left corner. And that'll get the Wizards on the board first.
Well, there it is. Spectre first to slip up there. That touch from IDJ out of the corner, headed in the wrong direction. Nice harassment there from the Wizards player to upset the defense, and Sauce, amazing placement on that shot to find the bottom left corner.
Kick off again here. It's going to be a good one for IDJ. It comes back in front of goal. John Cena Lover not quite able to collapse on top of it. Good block coming through. It's a miss coming across. It'll be Dante Burns. Touch up, tried to knock it down. IDJ is there, but it'll be a send downfield from Sauce. Gets the follow-up, and a great follow-up it is. Finds his brace and gets another point on the board.
Fantastic breakout to a counterattack here from Sauce. It takes some wherewithal to look at a ball like that and not want to, make too many mistakes. And you might sit back and think, oh, I don't want to get scored on, but instead Sauce fully leaps on the advantageous situation, turns it into a goal and a second goal here for the Wizards.
And now they're looking good. Just 2-0 lead they've been able to build. Dante was trying to make it 3, not quite able to reach that one. The shot coming across from Sauce, not able to connect on target. It'll be John Cena Lover looking to push it out in midfield. IDJ playing it down into the Wizards half. It'll be again, but a good deflection from Dante Burns as it comes back into midfield. Sauce now. 50 with John Cena, not enough to break it past. It'll be Dante again, straight down. IDJ had an opportunity, but he wasn't quite able to slide it by, and it'll be a breakaway down the other way from the Wizards. Of Sauce looking to get it in midfield. Dante keeping the applied pressure. Sauce backing off a little bit, but he should be able to act on this one. to pop up, looking for another, gets the bump on IDJ, but it's not quite enough to break past this Spectre defense.
A lot of traded opportunities here back and forth, but the bulk of them heading towards the Spectre net. I think they're feeling the pressure that the Wizards are putting on at this point, and they got to stem the tide a little bit here. They've been plagued by a bit of shooting accuracy mistakes on the front end, so if they can fix that up, they might be able to get at least one goal back here and work towards leveling the game.
Let's see if they can work towards getting this farther down the field. At the moment, right now, the Spectre have been spending a lot of time sitting in their own half. IDJ will look to take it. In the corner, one touch over Sauce. Burns able to find that just in time. John Cena was in the air for it. Now IDJ on his way back. Sauce, opportunity, but not able to find the touch. He does find the follow-up. It's in the corner yet again. Crossover, John Cena with the deflection. It sets up Sauce though rather well, takes a shot. It's a bit high. The Wizards are finding opportunity after opportunity here, Thunderballs, but it really is just the final bit of execution that they're lacking at the moment. As that execution coming through, John Cena gets the Spectre back within one.
In the blink of an eye, seemingly, IDJ, just great presence of mind there on the wall to get that ball out in the middle, and it handcuffed both Wizards defenders. Suddenly, Spectre are on the board, and this may mean the opening of the floodgates, so Wizards might want to be on alert now and looking for more attacking plays from that purple side.
Yeah, that they might. It's another shot coming through from IDJ, almost able to come off the kickoff. He'll get the follow-up, and what a double touch off the backboard to get the Spectre back level.
Perfect read. IDJ took the exact amount of time to wait and see what that bounce was going to do. They acknowledged they had tons of space to work with and just absolutely buries it dead center to make this game 2-2 with not that much time left on the clock.
And after the Wizards held the lead for so long, it's an incredible feat here from the Spectre, and it might be a third John Cena lover with a wide open net, going to take advantage of space. And what has happened to this Wizard team?
It seems like the Spectre's alarm clock went off. They woke up at a certain point in this game, and it's just been goals nonstop since then. The Wizards have got to do something to push back here because suddenly they're on the losing side of a game they felt they controlled.
Sauce had an opportunity off the kickoff there as it came back in the midfield. Suddenly, after holding a 2-goal advantage for most of this game, they find themselves down by one opportunity. But Dante Burns not able to get it on target, just wide left. They'll look to try again, taking it off the backboard here. IDJ's up. Gets the clear into the corner. Sauce. It'll be straight down. Dante's in the air. Shot taken, but it's off the post. It won't go through. Sauce trying to get turned around, but he's not going to be able to make it there in time. And a golden opportunity on a silver platter, but the bronze execution means that Spectre take game number one.
Heartbreak there for the Wizards. I at least was watching from Sauce's perspective, who was trying so desperately to circle back and be able to make a follow-up play on that unexpected post hit, but it just wasn't quick enough. Spectre get out unscathed from a very tricky situation and take a game that I don't think anybody expected they might do after the first half.
Yeah, I mean, really, the Wizards looked absolutely dominating to start this game off, and then something just clicked in the head of these Spectre players because they really started to pick it up in that final minute. They get 2 goals back-to-back, and then one final one to send them through, and really, that's going to be a huge confidence builder for them because they know now that they can, you know, you don't want to let in goals, obviously, but they can let a couple by, and they're still going to be confident that they can try and claw their ways back in, and I'm worried for the Wizard about what that's going to do specifically to their mentality.
Well, I think both of these teams have proven themselves defensively enough that they can each acknowledge it's going to take more than just waiting for a mistake to get attacking opportunities. We saw it first from the Wizards, who were really just sharp on taking advantage of the situations that they themselves created, and then it swung entirely the other way, and the Spectre were doing that. But I don't think either team's really going to be getting that many free goals. It's pretty strong defenses on both sides when it needs to be, so it's just a question of who's going to really aggress more here, I think, as we head down the series.
No, I'm right there with you, but game number 2 is getting itself underway now. After the Spectre able to take back a comeback victory in one. It's going to be on the Wizards. try and figure out how to get back into this series. And Sauce will try and do just that with a shot off kickoff, not able to quite get it by. John Cena, it's a double commit from him and IDJ. Dante able to find a pickup and a return downfield. He gets another touch, backboard. Sauce moving his way forward, takes a shot, but it's high. Another drop into the corner. IDJ looks for a pass off the back wall. It was a good pass. Dante Burns able to get in front. Again off the corner. Sauce looking for a shot. Back wall opportunity, but Dante can't connect with it before John Cena cuts him off. And now in on the transition, he's got an open net, IDJ, but he can't put it through. And it feels like an opportunity on both sides of the field for these teams.
And different errors on different sides. For the side of the Wizards, it was way too wide of spacing. Oh, what a shot there from the pass. Sauce just absolutely buries that to cut me off. Nice play there from the Wizards.
Yeah, it's just a really good setup here from Dante, and Sauce just gets the power on it. 112 kilometers an hour, and he sends it right down the middle. Nothing the Spectre could really do there to try and get back on defense. It just came so quickly. And that's exactly what the Wizard needed. Try and get themselves back in this game. As it was John Cena pushing his way forward here in the Wizard half. IDJ looking to get it out center. Will be off the back wall, but it comes back out to the right side. Sauce with the pickup. He looks to move it downfield. Good 50 from John Cena. It sends it to the right side. IDJ looking to make some space. It's an off touch. John Cena now with possession, looking for the drop. Can't get it through. IDJ finds the 50, but Sauce's touch able to keep it in front. Another big opportunity there, but the Wizard defense standing strong.
Very bold challenge on the back end after that attempted aerial from Cena. They were coming in against two Wizards players trying to get that ball out of the zone and beat them both just to barely keep the Spectre out of trouble. That's high risk, high reward stuff, and big time play here, passing play between the Spectre players. John Cena's finally going to get that aerial goal.
And John Cena as well made Dante Burns back off a little bit at the front of that play, and it put Dante in not the best of positions. He wraps around, gets the touch on the ball, and is able to send it through. And so that's going to be the equalizer there for the Spectre with about 3 minutes left to go. Another one off the back wall. John Cena will send it down this left side. Good bump. Allows ID Joe to get it through, and that's exactly what he does. Great pickup. And now the Spectre control the lead.
A bit of an unconventional play here. John Cena got bumped into that, I guess, by Sauce, and it helped the accuracy of the shot coming out from ID Joe. Ball's in the back of the net. They'll take that any day of the week, and they'll take the lead in a series where they've already got some control.
Again, it's going to be John Cena with possession. Sauce gets the save. What a touch. Able to keep it out of net. And it was such a good approach from John Cena and able to be kept out. Now in on the transition. Sauce looking to try and push it himself. It'll be Dante Burns. It's a shot wide to the right. He'll look to get on it again. And that pinch could set up Sauce. He's in the air, drop down in the top right, and we've got a level game yet again.
I mean, how do you beat this stuff at FL level with an aerial play much closer to the ceiling than the floor, and Sauce getting up so quickly to get that shot into the net? That stuff it's rarefied air, no pun intended, on things that you'll see in FL, and it very often results in a goal when players can show mechanical skill like that.
John Cena again. Been saying his name a lot. He's been involved in a lot of the different plays going on. A big factor in this Wizard half of field. So look to get it out for ID Joe. It's a soft touch. Sauce will move it down the right side. Gets another good touch. Dante opening and taking it. And that's the Wizards now reclaiming the lead. This has been a back and forth game so far.
I think the connection between players on the Wizards, whatever they lost in the second half of game one, they're reclaiming it right now. You can see them looking for one another on the field and trying to find these passes. And that means real trouble for the Spectre, who are now down by a goal. And I would imagine Wizards are going to threaten for more here.
Yeah, I would imagine they want to get as much separation as they can. What a bump from ID Joe! And they're not going to get any separation. Instead, they're going to be seeing the Spectre getting another equalizing goal.
ID Joe capitalizing on some weird positioning there from Dante Burns. Just got caught in no man's land in the corner and then gets that bump just to add insult to injury before burying the ball in the back of the net.
Another 50 on the kickoff. It goes in favor of the Spectre. As Sauce now looking to wrap around on it. Will be Dante Burns over to the left side. Sauce. A touch out in mid. Oh, it might be straight down. Dante Burns trying to catch back up. Again, it's a floater. Sauce sitting back. Will be a pickup here. Right side. Looks to follow. To the beat. He gets it past both. ID Joe caught out of position. And the Wizards yet again finding their response.
Ball's up in the air. Sauce is chasing it. It's turning into a guaranteed goal at this point. Such aerial skill and control. And on top of all that, shooting accuracy. That's the toughest part of trying to make aerial plays where you're going for net. It's doing all of those moving parts and then putting the ball in a spot for a goal. It's really impressive here from Sauce. And Dante Burns doing a fantastic job of facilitating that.
Oh, but look at John Cena, the response again. It's like every time one team scores, the other has to find something immediately after. And 8 goals scored between them in the 4 minutes we've seen played thus far.
Once the Spectre woke up in game number 1 and started to push back the other way, I think a lot of people could sense that this series was going to be pretty tight between these two teams. A lot of skill on both sides and a lot of coordination too. So I would not be surprised to see this game stay very close and games in the future of this series be the same way.
Ooh, and almost a good little turn there from Sauce as well. But I'm right there with you, Thunderballs. I do think that this series is going to continue to be at this level, as it may be the Spectre taking another lead. It is John Cena yet again finding his way behind the ball and driving the Spectre through.
What a variety of goals we're seeing from both teams too. This one, more a counter-attacking play. Sometimes it's plays on the front end where they're really aggressing, and other times it's coordinated passing plays in the midfield. There's such variety that it's fantastic as a viewer and not so fantastic as a defender when you're trying to predict what's going to happen.
Well, the final 30 seconds on the board now, and the Wizards, they found a couple of responses so far. But they really need to take this game. They're already down by 1 in the series, and with how well they've played, they certainly want to try and get something out of this one before the series starts to get out of their control. It's a pass over from Sauce. Dante not quite able to find it. John Cena hits against the inside of the goal. As the final 3 tick down, Wizards trying to corral it over, but it's not going to be enough. That's going to touch the ground. It'll be Spectre 2-0 lead. As man, oh man, Thunder, that was a really well-played game from both sides.
It was absolutely valiant effort there from the Wizards at the tail end of the game to try and level it. But we're going to take a look here at a highlight that we saw from that game on another connection between Dante and Sauce. The Wizards were looking for it at the end of the game, and they were looking for it in the middle of the game everywhere on the field. You can see them constantly just connecting with one another, but Sauce, that standout performer, for the Spectre to come out on top of a player who's really feeling next level and popping off, it takes a coordinated effort. That's only something you can do as a team. You're not going to stop them one or the other. So the Spectre did that together to shut down, the highlight machine that you just saw out of Sauce.
Yeah, and he got such height on that as well. It was a really fantastically placed shot. But as fantastic as it was and as much offense as they were able to generate, it still wasn't enough to get them a victory here in this game. So it's going to be crucial for them to try and figure it out. They're going to be facing series point, and if they lose that one, it's going to be an uphill battle to try and win 4 and 5 after that. So what do you think they really need to do going into this game 3 to try and start turning the tides in their favor?
I think these games are tight enough that it's maybe just one adjustment. You don't want to oversteer and try to change your game entirely. I think the thing they need to limit is maybe just the overcommits that open up opportunities for the Spectre to counterattack. If you take that out of the play and you're a little bit more composed on your rotations and the Spectre get 1 or 2 less goals in the game that they would normally have gotten, suddenly that loss turns into a win for the Wizards.
Well, There's 5 minutes on the clock. 1-0 on the scoreboard as John Cena wastes no time with taking the lead. And that is not the way the Wizards were looking to start this game.
No, Sauce hit the brakes, even went in reverse there and was really not sure of how to play that ball. It's tricky when it gets towards that curve at the bottom of the wall there, but regardless, Adi Joe taking advantage of the hesitation and creating a very early goal here for the Spectre. Oh no, more trouble. That's just going straight in off the kickoff.
Yeah, this is just, you can see it right off the kickoff. Dante not able to find the best of touches. It puts Sauce in a weird position. That's going to be a quick 2-0 lead for the Spectre. You hate to see it.
Mentally so difficult for the Wizards as well. They're just wanting to find a little bit of momentum in this series. And at the beginning of the game, you feel like it's prime opportunity to do that. Dante's going to go over top, though. That's the momentum we're talking about here, and the Wizards claw their way back a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good response. Dante able to find the touch pass ID Joe. Gets it through, back within one. And you know, within the first 15 seconds, being down by one feels a lot more manageable than being down by two. So that's going to do a lot to help with their mentality.
They needed to get that goal quickly. After going down 2 so soon, you want to feel like you're really keeping this game close, and you don't want to let time tick away because the doubt really starts to creep in if you let that happen. It's important for the Wizards, but it's not enough to win the game. They need more.
Well, that's a good pass out in the midfield. Sauce will pick it up and take it to the right side. Looks to follow it here. Finds the touch, but it's not on target. John Cena plays it to the right side. Now he himself has an opportunity. Drops it down off the bar. And finally able to push it through. But they cut it a little close.
As close as it gets, pretty much. I honestly couldn't tell whether that was going to slowly find its way in or if genuinely they had to secure that. And John Cena says, yeah, I know you want the limelight a little bit here, teammate, but I'm going to secure it myself. And ID Joe going to have to work a little bit harder than that to get more than one on the board.
And I think part of that as well is John Cena, I mean, quite literally just got absolutely bumped into the play. I'm not sure if he even had a choice in the matter. He was hitting that ball in the net, whether he liked it or not. But I'm pretty sure he'll be happy about that appearing on his record. Either way, it'll put the Spectre again in a 2-goal lead. As the Wizard continue to struggle offensively. They're going to try and pinch it downfield, gets it past John Cena. Sauce grabs boost. See a pass down again. Dante, not the greatest of touches. Slight double committed. Sauce able to get it around, and Dante, he's not there, but it doesn't matter. Sauce just going to follow it up on his own.
Sauce once again putting the team on his back. Great pinch out of the side there. Gets just the right amount of power on it to be able to follow up himself. And that's just a walker straight into the net to bring the game once again to within 1 goal.
This is again going to be a kickoff to the side wall. Dante was looking for it. It's taken out. ID Joe. Not enough space. It's a good return from Sauce, who plays it into the corner. Finds the boost, but not the ball. As it's another shot coming through. It forces Sauce to make the save. Grab that boost. Not able to get too much on it as he gets it farther down the field. ID Joe pressing yet again. Looking to drop it down, but it's behind the post. It'll be Dante just looking to force it out back in the corner again.
A lot of hesitation here, and that's going to be it. I felt as though it was only a matter of time before Spectre were going to capitalize on the rotational panic in the back here from the Wizards. You hate to see it because this is really putting a stranglehold on the Spectre trying to take the series in the first 3 games. But it's up to the Wizards now to just mentally reset themselves a little bit, settle into the game once again, and try to fight back a little bit here against the very strong Spectre team.
It's again going to be pressed forward. You see John Cena looking to get an angle on this ball. This is Dante. One touch. Looks to come back around. It's a center pass. John Cena finds the touch. ID Joe's going to look to set up in midfield as the pass comes through. He gets the touch off Dante, off the post. John Cena again off the post in the woodwork. Getting in the way of the Spectre. Can Dante get it through? No, he can't. ID Joe able to chase it down.
So unfortunate that Dante didn't have any boost in the tank to finish that play off. Had he had even 20 boosts there, that's just rolled straight into the net and past that Spectre player. But instead, oh, close chance there again. You know, it's not for lack of trying here for the Wizards. They're putting chances close to the Spectre net, but they just can't find the back of it.
And it's a big problem for them on the production side of the field. Each time they get into an opportunity to make something happen, to convert a goal, but it's just not quite enough to get it past. John Cena was again looking to get that one out in front. It'll be ID Joe, good. Demo coming through on Sauce. That's a giveaway though. Shot taken by Dante Burns. Not able to quite get it on target, but it was a solid opportunity. And one that the Wizards really desperately needed to try and make their way past.
They really got burned by the demo play. Sauce though, here's an opening, big time opening. Can they control the ball? Oh no. That's heartbreaking to watch for the Wizards. Sauce had all the time in the world to try and control that one, but was clearly feeling the pressure of the play and just couldn't corral it in time.
Yeah, he was trying to get control. He had the opportunity, but you know, sometimes those open nets can really be the hardest ones to hit because you overthink them, and he jumps just a bit too early, and that's something that John Cena cannot say for himself as he gets this perfectly through. You know, I don't think they could even see him on that play there. He came out of nowhere.
No, the defenders could barely see their own cars. They were all over the goal line just trying to maintain composure. And ID Joe, just the lightest touch to get it up off of the curve near the post and into a shootable position where John Cena took full advantage.
On 5-2 sits the scoreline now as the Spectre look to take a 3-0 lead in the series. And that could be another one. Great save by Sauce. ID Joe, no power on the follow-up. But with the final 25 seconds ticking down, unless they can get an answered prayer here, they're going to be going into Game 4, looking to try and snag some wins. In case anyone is new to MLE, we do play all 5 games in the series. Each game incredibly important as we move farther down in the season for playoff contention. You can think of it sort of similar to how baseball series go, but in this one, it's going to go to the Spectre as they have just been dominating on the field so far.
In almost every aspect, the Wizards show flashes of brilliance here and there, and they have decent coordination between one another, but they can't seem to put together a complete game in any specific stretch. They've either got their defensive game together, but can't find the back of the net, or it's vice versa. So it's going to take a complete performance here from the Wizards to topple this Spectre team that has been so dominant, and they need to do it. They got to get some games back here in this series. It takes mental toughness to be able to do that after being, for all intents and purposes, swept in the series. And so let's see what the Wizards can do here faced with not a very admirable situation.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the biggest things I think is going to be on the plate for the Wizards is whether or not they can start converting on these chances. And we saw them time and time and time again in this last game, just being unable to execute when they really had an open opportunity. We see the dribble play that they're not quite able to get control of. We see some open shots where the shot just goes wide. And I understand that that's going to be a thing that happens in Foundation League, but it's not happening on the Spectre side of field. And I think that is the important difference here is when the Spectre are getting their opportunities, they're doing a really good job of sometimes, you know, they're going to get saved, but at least they're in threatening spots. And unless the Wizards can really start to get that under their control, we're going to continue to see the Spectre dominating in this series.
You're right, it's not necessarily overwhelming volume in terms of the attacks that the Spectre get. They do maintain a very solid amount of pressure in the game throughout, but it's quality over quantity. They really seize the opportunities that they're given, and they find goals and manufacture advantages out of just about every situation they're presented with. And boy, is that tough to beat if you're on the yellow side of the field here.
That it is Spectre. Going to be looking to try and set up a sweep, and they're starting it off strong. John Cena yet again off to the races early on in these games.
ID Joe, another great setup touch. Down, it's almost like a broken record at this point. We've seen so many setup plays coming from ID Joe to John Cena, who finishes it off just with the right placement. And once again, there it is, another goal here for the Spectre, and possibly more trouble here for the Wizards, who are looking a little out of sorts.
They're able to get wrapped back around on that one. As Dante will push it over to the right side, not able to corral it in. It'll be Sauce. Looking to get a sling around on this one. He gets bumped away. It'll be John Cena Lover. Over top, off the wall, gets one touch into the corner, but it's not a whole lot to clear it away. As another shot will come close. John Cena's in the air, and he's not going to be able to find the touch. Neither is Dante. It'll be Sauce to finally find something to clear it out of danger. And he gets a following touch to send it farther down in the field. Can he get it on target? It's a powerful shot. It's not on. That one is, and it'll be 1-1 in this game.
Speaking of powerful shots, the first one might not have worked here from Sauce, but it was enough to give Dante the follow-up opportunity. And great patience there to get the right part of the car on the ball. All the power, all the placement, and all the goal means that this game is now tied.
Let's see if the Wizards can conjure up something to get themselves back at least into this series on the latter end. Sauce will play it back across. It's a miss from John Cena. He'll set up Dante on the right side. It's a clear downfield. Sauce again, not a whole lot, but he's able to get it past one. ID Joe forced to dive for it. It'll be Dante Burns, but not before John Cena again can clear back to the right side. Follow-up, double commit, off the wall. Sauce had an opportunity, but plays it to the left side instead. So grab this boost just to get another touch. Follow-up, not there. It'll be Dante back into the corner. ID Joe 50, it's still up in the air. John Cena trying to clear it away. It's no touch. Sauce in the air, and ID Joe comes flying across to clear it out of danger.
Once again, the Wizards players just underestimating the speed that the Spectre have on the field. I know it was low resources there for Sauce, who was waiting for the shooting opportunity, but it's time to aggress. You're down 3-0 in this series, and I know it can feel difficult to want to risk anything after losing 3 games, but in a certain sense, you have to. You got to get a little bit scary with things and go for some plays that are a little bit lower percentage to try and ignite your offense and get some excitement going.
And for now, it still feels like a little bit of stagnation from the Wizards. They continue to find themselves in good spots, but they continue to find themselves unable to do anything with them. As this ball comes back out in front, John Cena's going to be up in the air, takes a shot off the post and through, and it's like he just can't miss.
We're going to have to name that play after John Cena lover at some point, because again, into the top corner, half the ball over the goal line, and the self-secure. And I don't think we can call it exactly what we would want for copyright reasons, but we'll figure out a creative name for that play if they hit any more of them.
I mean, I imagine he probably has a theme song with playing how well he does. He doesn't get the play well enough to find the save there. Sauce able to slide it by. And it will be the Wizards taking things back under control, getting it back level here.
The sight for sore eyes for Wizards fans there is to see Sauce up top again, making an aerial play. Feels like it's been quite the break that we haven't seen them going for or having the opportunity to make one of those plays. So it could be the start of something here for the Wizards in the beginning of their campaign to take some game wins.
Ooh, and it could be another opportunity. 50 was there. The shot was not. ID Joe will try again, but it's going to be wide to the right. Off the corner it goes, back up. It's a missed touch over to the left side. Dante Burns looks to take that shot. Will be a follow-up here on the right side. Spectre looking to move their way downfield. It'll be up the corner and around. ID Joe in the air. It could come straight down for a John Cena lover, and that's exactly what it does. 3-2, and the Spectre back in control.
I don't think there's any question as to who the standout performer for the Spectre has been in this game so far. And their name is at the bottom on the name card right there. John Cena lover, just putting on an absolute offensive showcase and not a slouch in the middle of the field or on defense either. Really a pretty complete performance from them and greatly supported by their teammate in the ID Joe side on the Spectre as well.
Well, the Wizards have to try and find some sort of response, otherwise they're going to be down 4-0 in this series. It'll be Dante. Off the left wall. John Cena getting back into fence. Dante again. Pop up over one. Looked for the bump on John. But he wasn't able to get the connection as Sauce moves forward. Oh, and that's a wide open net. Dante gets turned around, but John Cena somehow finds the save.
What a save. Just as I mentioned it before, it's not just offense coming, it's defense as well. Such a last-ditch effort on what seemed like a wide open net, and instead, Spectre keep their lead in this game at a really pivotal moment.
Well, the final 60 seconds clicking off the time. John Cena again looking to push something downfield. It's the Spectre up by 1. They're up by 3 in the series. They're trying to make it 4. They want this sweep. Would be massive for them and their potential as this season moves on. Takes the shot, bar. It's not going to be in on that one. But still 30 seconds remaining, and man, this is absolute domination so far. The Wizard, it just feels like they don't have a response.
It feels like a confidence issue maybe at this point of them just lacking the conviction to go for plays really anymore. We saw a couple, obviously. They weren't without goals in this game, but it's not the same type of commitment and coordination. Obviously, Dante gonna find a goal here as I'm trying to explain how they couldn't find goals, and suddenly the game is tied with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, and you know, as good as the Spectre have been, they can't afford to let their foot off the gas. No breaks allowed because the Wizard will get past. This is not a team that you can just not take seriously with 2.7 seconds left. They could potentially push us into overtime, and that is exactly what they'll do.
Well, let's see it. It's now or never for the Wizards. This is really, they've been granted a second life in this game, and they've got to capitalize on that opportunity. Maybe Dante will. Nice save there. John Cena Lover once again stalwart on the goal line, but the Spectre's still in trouble here.
Ooh, and it's a little bit of a miss there. John Cena looking to push it downfield. Gets one touch. What a save from Dante. That would have been a game ender there. And Sauce still back on defense. Can't get wrapped around. Comes close to making a colossal mistake, but is able to gain back control. And now they'll be looking for a transition play.
Had flashbacks there to a couple of Sauce plays, one on defense and one where they tried to control that dribble downfield with the open net. It's really scary when you see a player hesitating like that, but Sauce just barely able to get out of there unharmed.
It's another attacking press coming from the Spectre here as it's off the back wall. Dante, soft touch. It'll come straight back to ID Joe. He's not able to find the follow-up. It's a knockdown. John Cena gonna back off as he sees Dante has the better positioning there on that play. Sauce will get it around 1, looks to wrap around, but ID Joe set up beautifully to find that touch. It's another opportunity, and John Cena still managing to get in front of these. It's incredible how he manages to be so potent on both offense and defense as this overtime rages on. Will be another opportunity. Dante unable to find the touch. It's a cleared down Sauce pop up. ID Joe knocked back down. And this overtime stretching here, 1 minute and 46 seconds in, and we're still tied at 3. Or will we? John Cena has possession. Sauce has to come across. And that was such a close call. ID Joe with an opportunity of his own. It's a banger, but it's off the post. And 2 from the Spectre there almost find their way through.
My goodness, the Spectre going from 0 to 100 in a hurry there. It was a passage of play that we didn't see many attacking plays, and all of a sudden they put 2 such close chances on net. Now a close chance here for the Wizards. Sauce not able to find that one in the back of the net. This overtime has really picked up pace, and I gotta say, if the Wizards can't take this one, I don't like their hopes of winning the next and final game in this series, so they really want this one badly.
Yeah, they need to try and get something through. That's a big touch from ID Joe. He's trying to wrap around, but he gets too much speed and plays it to the left side. He'll look to try and find another, but Dante giving him trouble in that corner. John Cena Lover now in control as he has been through most of the series. Can he make a play? It'll be saved by Sauce. ID Joe again. John Cena still sitting in mid, but Dante with a touch. He'll be over to the left side now. More movement downfield from Wizard as we cross the 3-minute mark of this OT. It'll be Sauce, shot taken. It's high, follow up, through, and the Wizards will not go defeated all the way through. They find their win in Game 4.
Once again, Sauce seemingly out of nowhere. An unbelievable aerial play, control on the shooting accuracy, but this one decidedly more clutch than any of the other goals they scored. That's a game winner for the Wizards when they desperately needed one. And now, just as you say it, not totally defeated in this series. That's huge for the franchise and for their campaign in the season.
Yeah, no, absolutely massive for them there to get that overtime game-winning goal, especially after how hard they've been working throughout this entire series to try and make it happen. And now we go into a Game 5. Yes, the Spectre still have the series, but this Game 5 still massively important. The Wizards, even though they aren't able to come away with it there, they are going to want to come away with this win to soften the blow as much as possible, to get something tangible out of this weekend, and to look into week 2 with something to hold on to as their focus point for how they move forward. So this is going to be a lot on the line for them.
Everything on the line. It was obviously they would have wanted to put this together earlier in the series, but they're not thinking about that now. They've got one thing on their minds, and it's finding another win in this series and making it a 2-3. And really, when you get down to it in this final game, they've got all the momentum they need to do that. So it's shifted here where now the onus is on the Spectre, who have just been upended a little bit, and it's a question of can they raise another level on an already stellar performance for them and get on top of this Wizards team, who now are going to have more confidence than they did about a minute and a half ago.
Yeah, I mean, long overtimes will do that to you. But now Game 5 is underway, and the Wizard trying to get what they can as we get things underway. It'll be John Cena. Another shot. Can he continue his method of scoring in the opening seconds? No. ID Joe, though, comes close. And it's an open net right now, but Spectre struggling to get advantage. And it'll be Sauce bumping John Cena away as Dante will look to pick this up in the corner. It's not the best of touches, but he is able to crowd a little bit as ID Joe finally applies some pressure. Back out in mid, and what a save from Dante. Sauce to clear it away.
I thought a goal was coming for the Spectre there again, and early again, like we've seen them before. But nice composure on the goal line from the Wizards. Again, I say this might be a changed team from what you saw before, but they're still in trouble. Oh my goodness, a runner back the other way. Dante, can they do what Sauce couldn't before? Oh no, flashbacks again. It's almost identical to the play we saw before. And again, presented with an open net, the Wizards just can't quite get there.
Now it'll be a follow-up play here, though, from the Wizard. And man, oh man, Dante Burns is not messing around.
Not at all. It seems the Wizards have no interest in scoring the easy goals. They want the hard ones. And Dante going up top there with a follow-up touch to score a very hard goal, especially at this level of play, and put this Wizards team on top once again.
Goes back to the side wall. Dante looks to get a touch. He gets it down this right side. John Cena, only one left in defense. He's able to find the touch back over. As ID Joe will look to connect with Sauce. It's clear now from the Spectre into the Wizards half. It's a minute and a half gone. The Wizards still controlling a 1-0 lead as Sauce unable to find that one. Will be too far for ID Joe to travel, though, to get back in possession. Will be played up and around in the corner. ID Joe was looking to drop it down. Could be something here for John Cena, but Dante again getting in front of the play.
Dante really stepping up here on both ends of the field. They went full hover mode, and oh, that's trouble though. Straight dunk right into the back of the net for ID Joe, who made a quick cut on the rotation and really caught the Wizards by surprise.
Yeah, and this is just something that the Wizards can't afford to let happen. They're doubled up in that corner. They don't leave any spacing for themselves to try and handle a play like that. And they allow a slow roller to sneak in behind them. It gets the Spectre back level, but maybe not for long. John Cena struggling to get a handle on it. It was Dante who had the opportunity to send it through. Now this send downfield picked up by Sauce. The follow-up not quite there. ID Joe will play it. ID Joe again finding the touch. Sauce now getting back in defense. It'll be off the backboard, and Sauce to clear it away. Dante sitting in midfield. ID Joe off the sidewall. Be another touchdown. Dante Burns with the touch. It'll be Sauce again, looking to pick it up. 50-50, not quite there as it comes across. This could be an opportunity. ID Joe can't connect. That's a long booming clear from Sauce as Dante Burns looks to get set up on this left side. No touch. The bump on John Cena, but it's not quite there. And the Wizards had a good opportunity develop there.
You know, it's been such a consistently scoring series with goals coming almost at regular intervals that I was surprised to see such a long passage of play where neither team could really crack through the defense. And it's, to me, more worrisome for the Wizards than the Spectre because the Wizards want to keep the momentum that they had, and instead it feels somewhat broken by that last chunk of the game that we saw. So they need to get a little bit of the speed going back here again and find some of the aggression they had that won them the previous game.
That they do, but time is running out. Minute and a half to go, and the Wizards still trying to find their way through to a Game 5 victory to at least allow them have a 3-2 series loss. As Dante, open goals, not gonna miss. And that will be the Wizards taking the lead.
Didn't get a chance to catch the breakdown in rotation here that caused such an opening, but I think probably ID Joe prioritizing boost over ball there, not recognizing how much trouble their teammate was in, really opened it up, and Dante once again stepping up on offense to bury that one.
Well, let's see if they can hold on to this lead now. It'll be up off the wall. ID Joe unable to find it. John Cena. It's a soft touch. Sauce, that's going to find a pinch straight through. Gives them the separation they desperately need.
What a weird way to get an insurance goal in a time where you wouldn't expect it. But the Wizards, thanking their lucky stars that one went in, and Spectre, on the other hand, not so grateful for the pinch to be finding its way straight into their net. It's not at a very opportune time in this game with 1:11 left to play, where they now find themselves having to score 2 goals in pretty short order, and that's going to be a tall task here against the Wizards team, who are feeling pretty confident.
It'll be Sauce again. Oh, he might have. Oh, he still has control. He gets around it. He got a little bit of help from John Cena, but still 55 seconds to go. And that's a 3-goal separation. The Wizards setting themselves up well in this Game 5.
Very well indeed. Sauce almost giving the defender the silent treatment there. Just calmly waited for the mistake to happen and then capitalized on it once they got the opportunity. That goal lead going from 2 to 3 is an entirely different ball game here, and it's really tough now for the Spectre to come back into this. And I would imagine when that 4th goal went in for the Wizards, they breathed a big but not total sigh of relief because they still aren't quite out of it.
Not quite yet, though. It's going to be very difficult for them to try and make something happen as John Cena unable to find the touch on that play. Final 30 seconds will begin to tick off the clock. This one's going to hit off the ceiling, not quite all the way down. John Cena again, clearing his zone, but with 18 seconds left and a 3-goal lead, I think the Wizards have well and truly secured this Game 5 for themselves.
What a performance from them and a turnaround. As I said before, this is such a display of mental skill on the field. To be down as low as you can get and losing the series in a 3-game sweep, they come back. Oh, John Cena going for a late effort there to make a little bit of a statement, but it was the Wizards instead who have made a statement at the end of this series. Nicely done to claw their way back and get a couple of wins that may very well help them down the stretch when we get into playoff territory.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to pick up those wins when you can come away with them, and really good focus on the part of the Wizards to not feel like they were down and out after that Game 3. They pick up the final 2. It's still a series loss, but they're going to be feeling a lot better about it. And, you know, on the opposite side, for the Spectre, they're probably going to look at those last 2 games and figure out, all right, well, where were we going wrong? What happened between the first 3 and the final 3 that created the space for Wizards to make that comeback? And it's going to be a lot for them to look at as well as they move forward. But, you know, looking forward at the rest of the night, we're not done yet, Thunderballs. There's still one more match this weekend, and we are kicking it really into gear. And I'm talking change and pace. We got Foundation League in this last game, but Premier League is coming up with the Pandas facing off against the Flames.
Really excited to see how this one's going to shake up, and I think it's great to end off the night with a ramp up in skill that's going to be on display, and I think it's going to be a real show between these 2 teams. Premier League, obviously a little bit of a different picture than it was last season. No caps on the salaries for the overall teams means that there's even more skill on display at the top of MLE, and you're about to see some of it next.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, the absolute top of minor league esports, 1700 MMR and more. You're not going to want to miss it right here on the MLE Network.